Hi, my name's Sumner, and in this video, I'm going to give you my honest 2020 Amazon FBA review, and specifically, I'm going to cover, number one, the highs and the lows of selling on Amazon and my personal experience of selling on Amazon over the past almost 2 years. Number two, I'm going to give you key takeaways, so mistakes that I've made, and to make sure that you do not make those very costly, bad mistakes and sometimes stupid mistakes. And then number two, also what I've done well and where I kind of see the future of Amazon FBA potentially. I'm also going to give you some insight into that. So that's number two. Number three, I'm going to share with you basically my summary. Is Amazon FBA dead in 2020? Is Amazon FBA still worth it in 2020? Who's it worth it to, right? Should there be people who are doing it or not doing it? I'm going to give you my completely honest opinion about that, which I'm actually most excited for. And then lastly, number four, for those of you who stick around till the end, I have two very important messages. One is more of a personal update. It'll be really quick, not a big deal. And then number two is very important and will affect this channel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into my Amazon FBA 2020 review. So over the past 30 days, my wife and I have generated $23,000 in revenue by selling products on Amazon. And for those of you who have been following this channel, or regardless if you have or not, that is actually one of the lowest 30-day periods for us. And there's a few reasons for that. So I'm going to start off with kind of some of the lows of my Amazon FBA journey, Amazon FBA review, and then also cover some highs later, but maybe kind of give you the bad news first. So a few things. So number one, obviously, this is affecting anyone who's sourcing from China, the terrible coronavirus that's obviously bad enough of itself, the almost 2,000 people as of the creation of this video who have died from the coronavirus, and just the devastation that it's wreaked on China is bad enough in itself. And obviously that has affected production for anyone sourcing from China. So because of that, our top selling SKU and then one of our best selling SKUs are completely out of stock. So some of our best selling products are out of stock, and we had to turn off or reduce our ad spend because we know we were going to go out of stock because of how the coronavirus has just affected shipping. Again, I have a lot more content in the Facebook group talking about this and giving you guys updates about it if you want to learn more. But coronavirus, right, which is kind of a more of a fluke, but you know, it is what it is. And that's why this is kind of, it's obviously bad timing, but because of the bad timing makes it good timing to kind of show you that you know, external forces can affect your private label business. If you're selling products online, right? Those products take materials. It takes people to create them. So when people get sick or get laid off, or there's a resource that's not available, that can and will, depending, I mean, if it's in your industry, will affect your production, right? And ultimately your profit and revenue, just like it has done for us. So that's number one. Number two, and this is kind of mixed in, this is a key takeaway for you as well. The first product that my wife and I started selling on Amazon, like I said, a little less than 2 years ago, was selling very, very well for over a year. It was selling phenomenally from 20 sales a day to up to 50 sales a day or more during its highest periods. Really, really well. Solid profit margins, very low cost on advertising to really rank and generate sales. However, we never really properly differentiated, and we kind of knew that. What I mean by that is we basically had a very similar product. It was slightly better quality, not really much, and it was very easy for other sellers to come in with the same quality product. We just had better images, slightly better packaging and logo and things like that. And because we didn't properly differentiate, and because we didn't solve an unsolved need in the marketplace, that recently over the past few months has really hurt our margins and ultimately revenue. So we went from 20 to up to 50 sales a day down to much, much lower than that. It depends on the day, and we're still kind of working on ways to kind of differentiate more. But that just goes to show you, if you're going to sell a product, product, service, anywhere, if it's on Amazon FBA or any place else, you have to figure out and use common sense and think about, how does this product or service solve a problem that nobody else is solving? Because think about it. If your product or service, first of all, if your product or service does not solve a problem, you will not get paid, period. Seriously. Or you could get paid something, but it's not going to last, it's not going to be sustainable, and it's not going to be a lot, right? That's number one. Really straightforward. Number two is if you solve a problem that's already been solved, right? And it's being solved by every other seller, then why would someone choose your option, right? If your product basically acts and looks and sounds the same, or it's very, very similar to all these other products on Amazon, or it could be on eBay or Etsy or any place else, but other sellers have more reviews than you, or they have whatever, right? They have more brand recognition. Why wouldn't customers choose them over you, right? So that's one of the biggest takeaways and that's just about business and marketing in general, right? You have to figure out a way to solve an unsolved need. Very, very important. So that's kind of one of the low points and a takeaway from that low point. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, again, like I kind of said, keep in mind that external forces, especially when it comes to physical products, anything that involves people, can and will affect, profit margins, revenue, and all of that. So just kind of keep that in mind. And for low point number three, we one of our products that we sourced, and this is months and months and months and months ago, is actually the second product that we launched on Amazon. We use very similar product research tools, product research methods that many other brand new Amazon sellers are using. And essentially we found a product that was at the time in a very low competitive market, but because we're using the exact same tools, looking at the exact same product opportunity as hundreds or thousands of other sellers, the market soon became very, very competitive. So that's number one. And then number two, at the time, again, being our second product and still not understanding the importance of differentiation and solving a problem using quantitative data, which I'll talk about in just a second. Sounds really crazy, right? But I'll talk about that in a second. Because of that, not properly differentiating, and because using the same tools and going into an extremely competitive market, not having the same skill set that we have now, we were ranking on page one and quickly fell to, very far from page one for all of our main keywords. We still generate probably 1 or 2 sales a day for that product, but because we've had it for so long, and we've been working on a lot of other things and kind of neglected it, which we probably shouldn't have, we were hit with long-term storage fees, which has really negatively affected our profit margin as well. And we're still figuring out a way to liquidate. But actually out of that, another point that I want to make as sort of a positive is that when you invest in physical products versus certain types of investments, when you have a physical, real product that has some value in it, even if it's not perfect and it doesn't perform as well as you would like to on Amazon or wherever else, there's still the opportunity that if you spent $10,000 to source and create this set of products, that you can still potentially liquidate and make back your $10,000 or even more. And we're confident that we're going to be able to do that. However, there's no promises, maybe not. So that's just a risk and something to keep in mind. However, at the same point, right, versus investing in the stock market, when you invest in physical products, you invest $10,000, you can still, even if things go wrong, there's still a potential of making back a percent of that 10,000 or all of that 10,000. And again, I use 10,000 just as an example. It's not a magic number. I'm just using it as an example. So that was kind of, low point number three is just kind of that product that was kind of a flop. It was a flop. It was a fail, to be completely honest with you, and could have potentially, lost all of that money and still has caused headache regardless of the money that we've lost. And so that's kind of the low point. Takeaway from that low point is that what I highly recommend doing, and literally this is the exact method that I'm going to be using, my wife and I will be using to launch future products, that is to look at keywords, product-related keywords that people are typing in onto Google, and to look at products that are selling well on other e-commerce platforms outside of Amazon, such as Etsy, eBay, Walmart, Best Buy, etc. Okay, so in the sense of keywords, you can use a tool like Uber Suggest by Neil Patel. So Uber Suggest is a free tool, and you can essentially use the tool, you type in a certain keyword, and then Uber Suggest will show you similar related keywords that are being typed into Google and their estimated search volume, right? I think it's their monthly search volume, I believe, right? So you can look at those keywords, see what people are typing in, what type of products people are looking for on Google, go to Amazon and say, people are searching for this on Google. Is the product available on Amazon? If not, that could be a potentially good opportunity for you to introduce a product, because essentially there's demand for it and you can see that demand. However, there's no options on Amazon, and there's a strong likelihood people are searching for this on Amazon and can't find it. So you can kind of bring that type of product and create your own and bring it to Amazon. That's what we've done with our last, and actually this kind of gets me into the next section, but really quick. So that's one with keyword research. Number two is to look at products that are selling well on platforms like Etsy, eBay, Walmart, etc. Look at what's selling well. And again, see products that are selling well there. It could be certain types of designs or certain types of, whatever kind of, unique type of product that is. See if that specific product is being sold on Amazon. And if not, you could, be the first to bring your own product type to Amazon. Or you could enter a partnership with that existing business, licensing or wholesaling or whatever it might be, and bring that product type, that exact actual product, like to Amazon, okay, and then profit that way, okay? So these two methods that I just mentioned, which is essentially revolves around the fact of look for what people are searching for or they want that isn't on Amazon and bring it to Amazon. And you may think, oh, well, Amazon's so big, everything must be on Amazon. It's probably so hard to find these opportunities. Number one, yes, it will take time. Number two, the time it takes is free. All it costs is time, right? Maybe you can pay for like a software, some kind of product research tool, which is very, very low cost, but it's essentially free to do just to do your own research. And there are many, 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 many opportunities. And actually, there are infinite opportunities because human desire is infinite. So there's an infinite desire for more products and services to fill humans' unlimited desire for wants and needs. Okay, which I'll talk again about in a second. But that kind of dovetails into the second part. So remember, number one was our low points and takeaways from those low points. So kind of sucks, but still, that's where we are, and I want to be honest about that. Number two are some of the high points and some takeaways from those high points, which are pretty self-explanatory. So high point number one is that, number one is the amount of skills and experience that we've gained about selling anything online, the marketing skills, learning things like Pinterest ads, Google ads, learning search engine optimization, just basic fundamentals, building an audience online and the importance of that. So the skill set that we've acquired at this point, even if we were to break even, for example, even if, let's say, all the money that we invested in Amazon, right, total, we lost that exact same amount of money, so we net at zero at this point, it would still be worth it. In my view, personally, because of the insane amount of the huge skill set that I've developed that I would have never developed working at a full-time job, even at any marketing agency, which I actually used to work at a marketing agency. So the skill set, huge. A lot of people don't understand that. I never used to think about that until recently. I was like, wow, even if we were to break even, this would be more worth it than college for the amount of skills that are insane that I've gained. And if I paid $0 to acquire those skills versus paying a $40,000 or $100,000 for a college tuition is pretty great. So that's honestly positive number one. Positive number two, maybe more selfishly or more relatably, is and I'll upload a screenshot or I'll include a screenshot somewhere on the screen here. Over the past year, we've generated on average about $5,000 in net profit per month. And specifically, kind of looking at our high and low points. Right now, we're definitely in a low point. We're definitely below that right now for reasons that I already mentioned. Moving forward, we definitely expect, this is just the beginning. We expect to continue to increase our Amazon FBA business. And not just that, but we're also in the process of expanding onto platforms like Etsy, eBay, Walmart. And we're actually already generating daily sales from all of those platforms. And we're going to really work to grow that, grow our website, grow our audience and all of that, which I'll talk about later. But so that's, number one is the skill set. Number two is, it's been great. We've generated, really a full-time income from Amazon. Again, we reinvest a lot back into the business, but if we wanted to, we could pull that out for ourselves, which I don't think would be the smart move, but it just shows how huge of an opportunity, and it's honestly changed our lives and has enabled us to do some things that are pretty cool that I'll talk about at the very end of the video. I know there's a lot of things that I'll cover later. That's number two. And then high point number three is really the passivity of Amazon FBA. Now, okay, just as a caveat, there is no such thing as real passive income in the real world, meaning there's nothing that just without any work, without any effort is going to generate profit, revenue, income, all of that. Okay, so the pure passive income does not exist. However, passive income is a spectrum, and there are certain business models that are more passive than others. And when you compare the Amazon FBA business model to something like opening a Subway franchise or starting your own marketing agency where you have to hire employees and manage people and all of that, in my view, right, especially with any kind of product-based, whether that's a physical product or a digital product-based business, the products if you set it up correctly with the right marketing systems and things like that, the products can overall, sell themselves, right? Where with services, you constantly kind of have to be selling that service. That's just the way that I kind of look at it. And I don't care about it in theory. I care about it in reality. And the reality is, my wife and I, to generate the income that we have, right, the revenue and the profit that we have and to get things going, there's a lot of time commitment and, of course, financial commitment up front. But then after that point, for each product that we launch and with each skill that we acquire, honestly, it does become easier with time from what we found, at least easier doing the exact same thing over and over again. That exact thing gets easier over time, although, there's always more to learn and we want to continue to learn and grow. But there's a relatively low amount of time that we spend every single week managing Amazon PPC campaigns, managing inventory and expenses and cash flow, and looking for new products to invest in, and and ways to improve our existing product lines and learning and reading and staying up to date on new trends and things like that with Amazon. Overall, it really doesn't take that much time. Is it purely passive? Not even close. It takes a lot of time, especially in the beginning, a lot of time, a lot of money up front. But once you get things going, it can become very, very passive, okay, compared to other business models. So that's high point number 3. And that, again, kind of dovetails into the second to last point, which, again, I'll try to keep it concise, which is my overall opinion and summary or my overall kind of review of Amazon FBA. And here it is, okay? And this is the most important. So Amazon FBA is an incredible, awesome, phenomenal opportunity. In my opinion, you can't convince me otherwise. In my own results, it's insane, right? It's not the only game in town. Amazon FBA is great. That's not the only way to generate income online, and it's not even necessarily the best way. Okay, so that's the key takeaway I want to give to you, and to give a little bit of context. So a way that Amazon FBA is great and maybe not great. So Amazon FBA is great. Again, some things I already covered before that I'll just kind of recap. So number 1, when you invest in physical products, there's value in the physical products to where, versus like the stock market, to where, if things don't go as expected on Amazon or whatever, you can always liquidate that, right? So for example, I have a friend who is selling products on Amazon, having success with them, and his product, I can't really give it away exactly, but with his niche, he could easily go in person and actually go to certain events and actually sell this product at those events without a problem, and actually liquidate and make back or even make more than what he originally invested in the products, right? So there's value there. It's a lot easier to regain a percentage or more of your principal, where the stock market, it's much more passive, right? That's a positive. But the negative is, you could throw in $10,000 in the stock market. It could jump up, right? Or it could go low for a long period of time before it picks back up, right? So it's a lot less control, where with physical products, you have a little bit more control, and there's I think a greater likelihood of regaining your principal in a shorter period of time, okay? If you have questions about it, let me know in the comment section, but hopefully that's insightful. So that's number 1. Number 2, why Amazon FBA is so great is that if you want to sell physical products online, I highly recommend, I believe the best opportunity to get started is selling on Amazon. Now, don't just start and end there. Some sellers do, and they've had success with that. What I would recommend, and what I'm personally doing, is that's a great starting point. Go on Amazon, but then go on Amazon, tap into their existing audience so you don't have to build your own. Tap into their existing logistics network, right? Their fulfillment center, right? And their whole fulfillment and distribution network, which is awesome. Basically, you can kind of tap in and utilize what Amazon's already built, and do that very, very profitably and very, very quickly compared to in the past. And then from there, you can kind of branch out and expand and learn more skills, and start, really building your brand outside of just Amazon, right? With your own website, maybe get into retail, Etsy and eBay and Walmart and all these other platforms as well, and really diversify yourself, okay? But with all that being said, Amazon, if you want to sell physical products online, in my opinion, based on a lot of research, Amazon FBA is the number 1 way to get started, period. That's my personal opinion. There are other good ways as well. You could look into drop shipping and other business models as well. Again, depending on how you go about the business model is, I think, more important than the business model itself, right? It's not just going to work on its own. You have to figure out a way to make it work. But again, focusing on low competition products, looking at those keywords and products that are selling well or being searched with high search volume outside of Amazon, bringing those to Amazon, generating even a few hundred to maybe $1,000 or $2,000 a month in net profit, can be a phenomenal opportunity, because number 1, you learn those new skills profitably. Number 2, it's a great place to learn, right? And actually generate profit, right? And then from there, you can kind of start growing. So FBA is a great place to get started if you want to sell physical products online. If you have money to invest, it's a really great opportunity as well. Number 3, like I already said, it can be very passive compared to other business models. So for example, I would much rather personally, hands down, invest $100,000 into selling physical products on Amazon than to spend $100,000 or more to open up a Subway restaurant franchise, okay? And that's what you need to think about. Do your own research, and don't just look at Amazon FBA and this little, Amazon FBA versus drop shipping versus social media marketing agency versus Airbnb rentals versus, whatever else it might be. Look at it as a real business, as a real brand, right? And compare and look at your ROI of, basically where I can take $1 and where's that dollar bring me the most dollars back, right? That's something that Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank mentions. It's a very good perspective. And I believe that Amazon FBA, especially for me and the skill set that I now have, and I believe this can be very true for many others, is Amazon FBA, when I invest $1 into my private label business, I can potentially see a much higher ROI over the long term than if I were to invest in real estate at this moment. If I were to invest in the stock market, yes, with the stock market, there's almost no work. You just have to kind of, invest, right? You can invest in the low cost, or low index mutual fund, low cost index mutual fund, and just let the kind of market do its thing. So it's very passive where, Amazon FBA takes a lot of work, but also the returns can be much lower, especially again with the skill set and everything that I have now. Same thing with real estate. I've done my own analysis, and in terms of monetary investment, if you have a lot of money to invest, I wouldn't say just go and do it. Consider looking into doing your own research and looking at the ROI, the potential ROI, and the realistic results that you could get with Amazon FBA. And again, in my personal opinion, in my own experience, that's very, very high compared to a lot of other options. Okay. So that's kind of the benefit of Amazon FBA. But at the same point, if you're watching this and you're interested in getting started in Amazon FBA, but you really don't have a lot of money, like you really don't have $10,000 to go spend. I mean, and nobody really does have that just laying around. But if you really wouldn't be comfortable or financially secure investing $10,000 anywhere, I would definitely not recommend Amazon FBA, right? So I think Amazon FBA is really great for those of you that have money to invest. You want to see your money go further. You have the time. You're willing to put in the time, the effort to learn, and to really to learn, marketing as a whole, selling products online and not just on Amazon, right? But if you have very little money, but you have time and you're really willing to work and willing to put the time in, where I'd recommend getting started is two things, right? Number one, building an audience online. Whether you're selling physical products on Amazon, you're drop shipping, affiliate links, you're selling a service or any other kind of product, having an audience, a loyal audience around a specific subject is the number one way to make money online, period. You want to make money online? Build an audience, period. What do I mean by that? What I'm doing right now, creating YouTube videos. Right now, I'm building this audience on YouTube around the ideas of Amazon FBA and passive income, okay? So I'm trying to build this audience, and of course, I try to do my best to give value. And then in return, every once in a while, I'll have some kind of promo where, hey, if you want even more value, you can take my $15 course on Udemy. Or here's how to use Helium 10, for example, to, set up profitable Amazon PPC campaigns. If you want to buy Helium 10, I have an affiliate link in the description, things like that, right? But building an audience could look like building a TikTok following, a YouTube audience, an email list, which is very powerful, a ManyChat or Facebook Messenger list, and it goes on, right? But building basically a group of people, and it can be a multiple thing of those things too, and that's really what's best is if you have a conglomeration of those things. But basically, when you're building an audience around a specific subject that's loyal to you or loyal to your brand, they love the content that you're putting out, right? You can monetize that audience for the long term, and again, you can sell anything. So what I'd recommend right now is if you don't have money to invest, don't even think about Amazon FBA. What I'd focus on is find something you're passionate about, start building an audience around that audience, or start building an audience around that topic, and specifically find what platform, whether that's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook groups, or whatever it might be, where is your audience right now? Where are they congregating? Where are they online? And then start building and producing content every single day around that specific topic, okay? So that's just my general advice is number one way to make money online, very simple, build an audience. How do I build an audience? Find something you're passionate about, find out where other people that are passionate about that topic are, and then create content around that, and then start growing your audience and start getting people to know you, to follow you, to like you, right? To subscribe to you and follow you and all that kind of stuff. And then later, right, once you start building up a larger audience, you can sell them anything as long as it's valuable, right? And you have to do it in a very, careful way, right? I can't give it all. I can't cover everything in this video. It'd be a huge series of videos. But that's number one. The number two way to generate passive income online in 2020, in my opinion, this is something that almost nobody else talks about. There's very little information. And I feel that right now is kind of on the cutting edge or the very beginnings of this kind of this overall industry. And that is selling your information online, but specifically, okay, be very careful. I know there's a lot of, bad connotation with that. Specifically selling your skills, selling your information in very affordable and highly, highly valuable courses on Udemy and Skillshare. So why do I say that, or why do I think it's such a great opportunity? Well, so I've realized, and this is a fact, I've known this theoretically for a while, but man, the best products, the best things to sell online for passive income, period. It doesn't matter what it is, are digital products, period, hands down, no questions asked. That's the number one product to sell online. And if you want passive income, okay? The reason for this is with physical products, right? unfortunately, things like, freak accidents or employees getting laid off, or a certain resource is out of stock or isn't available, or the cost for that resource goes up, right? That all affects your production, right? You have to manage cash flow because you have to buy inventory up front, and then sell that inventory and then use that profit to reinvest in more, right? And it takes a lot of time, or a lot more time and a lot more money. It can be more lucrative in the long term, right? But it can take more time and money to facilitate physical products. But with digital products, for example, courses on Udemy and Skillshare, right, which are just basically a collection of videos. It's free to create, so you need maybe $100 to buy a microphone, right, and that's it. And you can get free slide software online. You can use free screen recording software. You can literally get started for like $100 or $200, which is almost nothing, right? And pretty much create these courses for free. Put them on Udemy or on Skillshare, where there's already an audience that exists, and tap into that audience, okay? And then sell your information. And for every sale, right, there's no cost to you, right? It's only pretty much pure profit, right? So a lot less time, a lot less headache, and a lot less capital. It's literally one of the top, and specifically within digital products, right? Because there's all different types, like travel guides, affiliate links. Like for me, affiliate links are a digital product for me, but for the company, not necessarily. But for me, that's another example of a digital product. And then online courses, right, is another. There's many different types or different kinds. Ebooks would be another type of digital product. Like I said, best way to generate passive income online is with digital products. Again, having an audience plus digital products, you're golden. I mean, that would be the ideal, okay? And both of those can be very, very, very inexpensive, or even 100% free to get started. So if you don't have money, that could be a really great opportunity. And specifically, my wife and I have been generating, because my wife helps me out a ton with all of our projects, generating between $3,000 to $5,000 per month in profit selling our information online, specifically not in these scammy, $997 courses or whatever, but in extremely affordable $10 to $20 courses on Udemy and Skillshare. Okay, so huge opportunity, full-time income there, very relatively easy to get started, not a lot of capital that's needed. So those are just some options. Again, Amazon FBA, honestly, phenomenal option. My wife and I will be launching, our goal is to launch 2 more products in 2020. So if Amazon FBA is dead, I hope everyone else believes that, because we don't. We know it's not true. We're going to be launching more products 2020. We expect to launch more products on Amazon and elsewhere in 2021, 2022, and for the next several years. We envision that. We'll keep you posted on any changes that happen on Amazon. If any big updates happen, we'll be sure to keep you posted. But Amazon FBA is a phenomenal opportunity. We are going to continue with Amazon FBA for the foreseeable future. And if anything changes, we'll let you know. But honestly, a huge opportunity, and one of the best places that I can find to put my money. But one of the best places that I can put my time that I found is, number one, building an audience, like I just told you, which I'm literally doing that right now. That's number one. And then number two, the best place that I can put my time to generate passive income in the future is also with Udemy and Skillshare courses. Okay. So again, probably something that you may not have heard before, or hopefully some interesting perspective. But I hope that really kind of summarizes everything. And that's really, you may not think it's that valuable, but I'm telling you, I wish someone would have told me this before I went into college. It would have been so helpful. So that's what I'm trying to do for you as well. Amazon FBA is great. It's not the only game in town. If you have money, great place to consider, but do your research first. And then if you really don't have money, if you're really tight, you're like, but I really want to get started, I'm willing to put in the work, I'm willing to put in the time, build an audience, and definitely look into courses on Udemy and Skillshare. You may think, I don't have the skill set right now to be able to create a course. Honestly, it is not that difficult to become very knowledgeable in any particular topic. I don't mean just go and watch a course and then regurgitate and create your own course just based on what you watched. No. But certain topics and skills, it really doesn't take that much effort to become really, really good. Or not effort, I should say, but it's a lot easier than I think a lot of people make it out to be. And you can do so in a shorter time frame than you may expect, right? So that's just something to consider. Hopefully that's helpful. And then the last 2 things, right? Two kind of big announcements. So number one, personal announcement. My wife and I are moving to Brazil and Argentina for 6 months. We're very excited for that. You can follow. We're actually creating, kind of pursuing our passion in videography and travel photography. So you can follow us in our journey on our Instagram. We have a separate YouTube channel. I'll include links to those below. You can follow our journey on all of our different social media platforms if you're interested in seeing that kind of side of what we do and kind of also how we spend our money, right? I talk about how much money we make or, how to make that kind of money and hopefully some helpful tips and things like that. But now you can also see how we're actually spending, what we're doing with that, and the actual life that we're actually living. You can actually document and see it for yourself on those different platforms. So that's number one. That's, again, more personal. The reason for that is basically my wife's family is all from Brazil. I want to learn Portuguese. I love Brazil. Beautiful, incredible country. Yes, we're going to be in safe areas. I've already told some people, and they're like, okay, be safe. I'm like, yep, I will be. I actually going to an area that's safer than I am in now. But it's a lot less expensive for the conversion rate of earning in US dollar and then spending in Brazilian real. So it's a lot cheaper. Number two, we want to travel before we have kids. And that's one place we absolutely want to travel. And we're very excited. Buenos Aires, Florianopolis, Curitiba, Brasilia, Fortaleza. So all these different areas we're very excited to visit, learn Portuguese. It's less expensive, so we can reinvest more into our Amazon business, into our other e-commerce businesses as well. So it just makes sense for a whole lot of reasons. And we really foresee ourselves really traveling around. We want to go to Croatia. We want to go to Peru. We want to go to Singapore. There's a lot of places that we want to go to. So we're really excited for that. And that's not really as important. But number two, what's most important is, like I've just told you, what I just said is, Amazon FBA is great, which it is. And again, do your own research and you'll see that for yourself. Phenomenal opportunity today in 2020. However, it's not the only game in town. So for some of you have already noticed that I've started to create other content outside of Amazon FBA. So I'm going to continue to create weekly Amazon FBA content. I'll do my best to keep it as high value, step by step as possible, like I have done in the past, for those of you who have already subscribed. And if you haven't, be sure to like the video, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff if you found this valuable. But I'll continue to do that. And I'll continue to start adding in other topics like audience building, going viral on TikTok, more things about Udemy and Skillshare, business branding, right? All of these different topics that are very, very important and can also honestly help you achieve your goal better, right? Because your goal is to live a better life. Maybe it's to have more financial freedom, to generate more income, to be able to quit your job, or whatever it may be. There's all different types of goals, to travel the world, whatever it might be, right? Amazon FBA is one of the ways to get there, but it's not the only way. So I want to show you all the multiple options of ways. That's just kind of what I have in my mind. I'm honestly curious to see what you guys think. Let me know in the comments if you think that's a good idea, that's a bad idea. Are you guys going to completely unsubscribe if I start adding in more content that's non-Amazon FBA related? Let me know. But ultimately, that's the direction I want to move, because otherwise, if I only make content about Amazon FBA, then if Amazon FBA ever becomes not a really great option, or I feel that things have changed enough, or it's not really a great option to get started off anymore, but I only have Amazon FBA content, and that's what I'm kind of known as the Amazon FBA guy, well then it'd be easier for me to lie to you and say, oh, Amazon FBA is great, it's still great. Don't listen to all these other people, right? I want to, my goal is to help you achieve your goals. And from what I've seen, Amazon FBA has been great. It's been incredible. It still is an awesome opportunity in 2020, period. We're going to launch more products. It's just proof of that. You can follow along and see how we're doing it, right? That's just one way, but there are many other ways as well. And I just want to show those ways and be as honest. And literally, if I find something that's life-changing, I'm going to share it with you on this channel. And that's kind of the whole point. So yeah, I know it's long-winded. I know I kind of probably repeated myself a few times. I appreciate you bearing through this. But I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section. If you found this helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more. I have a lot of other really great more kind of step-by-step tutorial and case study type videos coming very soon. If you want to follow our journeys, you can find us at Sumner and Allie on Instagram, TikTok, and our YouTube channel. And I'll have a link to those below as well as some of the other things I discussed in this video. And as always, if you need anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Overview again, my 2020 Amazon FBA review. Very, very excited for Amazon FBA now and in the future. Super excited for what we're able to do and what I've seen other sellers been able to do as well. So super excited, huge, great opportunity. And there are so many other great opportunities that we're equally or even more excited about with Udemy and Skillshare, growing audiences online, stuff going on with TikTok for those of you that are following some of my content recently, and YouTube, of course, and all of that. It's really, really exciting. 2020 review overall, very excited for Amazon FBA and everything else. So very excited. I hope you're excited for the future as well. Like I said, if there's anything that I can do for you, don't ever hesitate to reach out, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos.